purely followed in my brother's footsteps because he played football, and I admire my brother a lot for the way that he went through the ranks and went through his career. And I was so lucky that I had somebody to look up to. You know, I looked up to my older brother and seen he was luckily a professional footballer as well, played at the AIS, which back then was a prestige place to be. And I used to go and watch him play in Canberra and watch him play under Steve O'Connor and Mike Milovanovic all the way back then, and two fantastic coaches. And if I didn't have that, I don't know if I would have continued on and loved the game so much. But having someone to look up to really inspired me to go on and be a professional. The passion, the uncertainty. You don't know what's going to happen in a game of football, you know, and I think that's the joy of it. That's why people love the game so much, and why I love it. And those moments where you can't explain to people the feeling of emotion and jubilation when you score, when you celebrate with 30, 40,000 people. That feeling that goes through your body at that moment is incredible, you know, and a real adrenaline and a real high, you know, and it's amazing. A fantastic experience and a real eye-opener for me, learning a completely different culture, you know, different way of life and mentality and you know, the food, the language, the whole combination of things was you know, a real eye-opener to me. And I learnt a lot over there about myself, about always keeping an open mind, respecting other people and their culture, and I'll have that forever with me and always remember my time over there, 4.5 years. And I was successful there, and I think that's why I was able to keep re-signing. And you know, the club, I only played at 2 clubs over there, you know, so I experienced over there, again, you know, crazy cases of match fixing, which obviously I had nothing to do with, and I had no idea about it at the time. But you know, all these experiences is something that's really hard to explain until you actually live it. But you know, they were obviously not the most memorable moments, but scoring goals and all of that over there is something that you know, I'll cherish. It's true, and I was, you know, the first couple of times I had to say no because I was doing so well in China, and I was really enjoying my time there. If I wasn't enjoying my time there in my football, I definitely would have been straight with Poppa. And then actually the third time, to be honest, I approached him. So, and I'm very lucky, fortunate that after saying no twice to Poppa, that the third time was a yes, and he still believed in me after saying no twice. And all I wanted to do after that moment was do him proud and give back for the opportunity that he gave me and the belief that he instilled in me. I was able to, you know, play over 5 years under the boss and learn every day, you know, and that's something that not many players have that opportunity to do, is work under somebody like Poppa and improve yourself. You know, it's easy to turn up every day and go through the motions and train, but it's another thing to actually turn up and look up to somebody who you respect so much and want to work your backside off for day in, day out. And it's been, you know, an absolute honour working under him and learning and improving every single day. Look, there's times when you go in the boss's office and it's nice, but there's also the other side. You know, when you need to kick up the backside, and I think some players respond to that in a positive way, and I'm one of those, and I really copped quite a bit on a couple of occasions in the boss's office, and it's a nerve-wracking time in there, and I'm very grateful that those chats lead to positivity afterwards, and they inspire me, even though at the time it's not pleasant. It really inspired me to want to be better, and you know, those times when you need that little wake-up call, you know, other people would just let you keep doing your thing, you know, keep going about the way you train, and that doesn't improve you. So going into the boss's office was always about helping me and improving me, even though it wasn't pleasant at times. I dislocated my shoulder in the 30th minute in the first leg of the final, and I didn't think about coming off, to be honest. At that moment it was the biggest game of my career, and then by winning that game, obviously went into the second leg and had, you know, an even bigger game. So it was a moment where I spoke to surgeons and doctors after the first leg, and it was, the advice was to play, even though that I needed surgery, because it's the biggest game of my career, my life, and there's only going to be one opportunity. So, you know, and then I decided to jump on the plane, and it was funny because Poppa said to me, if you jump on the plane, you're starting. So I think that was enough for me to say that, you know, jump on the plane and go for it. And with the advice from the doctors and surgeons and everybody pushing me forward to play, it was an easy decision. And then we had to deal with getting through the pain and you know, the problem of possibly dislocating the shoulder again in such a huge game, and affecting the mentality of the rest of the squad being injured. And the physio in Austin at the time, another person who I have great respect for and helped me a lot during my injury, got this crazy strap that went from my groin to my shoulder, around my arm actually. And Jonathan Thurston wears it in the rugby league, and I couldn't run with it, and I was at training and I was really looking uncomfortable, and I think Poppa quickly called over Ian at training and simply said, get it off him, because it looked shocking. So and then it was all about mentality and grinding the teeth together and just going for it. So in the end, I can sit here now very proud of that moment, and we lifted a prestige trophy, you know, something that I really haven't reflected on yet, but I will as soon as, you know, hopefully we win this grand final here in Perth, and I can celebrate and reflect on a great career. Yeah, it's amazing what a big victory like that can do, and the adrenaline was pumping, and my arms in the celebration, the change rooms after, I didn't feel a thing. So, and then you know, I had the decision of going to the Club World Cup and surgery, and it wasn't healthy to go on and play in the Club World Cup. So unfortunately, I missed that and had surgery. Yeah, there's quite a few actually, you know, and one that sticks out to me was when I was in Belgium and in hospital and had an operation on my knee, and I came out of surgery and I had nobody in the waiting room to take me back to my apartment. I hadn't heard from the club for about 7 to 10 days. That was, you know, a real moment that I always think about, and how dark that little period was for me. But in the end, they make you stronger. I was also picked up one morning from my house by the police, out of the blue, knocked on my door in the morning. I was getting ready to go to training, and they put me in the back of a car, these two unmarked police officers, and took me to the police station. And it was interesting because I had a car accident the week before, and I assumed that it was questioning over the car accident. And I was texting my brother from the back seat saying, I don't know what's going on. I'm in the back of a police car, and they said, oh, put your phone away, you're not allowed to use your phone. And I asked the question, oh, sorry, what am I here for? Is it a car accident? Just some questions about that. They said, no, it's in relation to the match fixing that's been going on. And my eyes just lit up, and I was like, I had no idea that this was even happening. And I was in complete shock, and I quickly wrote to my brother, I've got to go, it's serious stuff. And after 10 minutes of questioning, I had no idea what was going on at the time when they released me. My name was in the papers over there, and I had no idea about it. So maybe I've had a coffee with the wrong person one day, and they see me and thought that person may have been involved, and it was a crazy little time in Belgium. One that sticks out is a derby goal. A derby winning goal, I think it was, I don't know, approximately 50,000 people. We hadn't beaten Sydney FC for a long time, and the fans could feel the pressure. As a group, we felt the pressure, and we won that game 1-0. And I scored in the first half, and we defended, we put our bodies on the line, and it just a derby for the fans, for the players. There's no real word to describe it. It's incredible, and the atmosphere and what we had created. You know, Sydney FC and Western Sydney Wanderers, that rivalry, and how much it meant to the fans. You know, so to score that goal under huge pressure was something that raw when the ball hit the back of the net. And then looking up and around as I was walking back after celebrating with the players is something I'll never forget, because I went down on my knee looking into the grass thinking what just happened, and all the players come and mob me. You couldn't even see me. So yeah, it was a special moment. Very happy with my decision to retire at the end of the season. It's the right time for me, and built up over a few months, and it wasn't something where I woke up one morning and said that was it. You know, I'm in a fantastic team, in a great club with a culture now that's really resilient. The work ethic from everybody within the club is exceptional, and to go out, you know, working with this group, under the boss, under the staff here, it's a real honour. Not yet, no, but I think there will be in the end, and the ultimate goal is now grand final, to really put the icing on the cake of a fantastic 20 years. You know, during my time as a footballer, I've been able to give back to sick kids, and through my role at the Ronald McDonald House at Westmead in Sydney, whilst I was at the Wanderers, and I think that's been a real special part of my career as well. Always giving back to fans and being in a position to help others. It's really important for, I think, future up and coming stars to also do the same thing, to realise that you're in a position to be able to give back and help, and you should make the most of that. So I'm very proud of that. Yeah, a few people that I haven't heard from in a long time, which I'm very grateful for, that I've had such amazing support, my family, my friends, random people who I don't even know. Today my Instagram, I had kids messaging me and saying, we'll miss you playing in the A-League, and that's touching, and very special that I've been able to have that effect on the youth that love our game so much. And that's something that after this 6 weeks that I can really make a difference to our next generation and the kids coming through aspiring to play in the A-League and be future Socceroos. I'm trying not to think about it, and I respect this group and this club and everybody here so much, and I know how much it would mean to everybody else, the fans of Perth Glory, to win this minor premiership and grand final that's up for stake for us. And I don't think the club has been in this position for a really long time. The club's been through some ups and downs as well, and for the fans, they deserve this. And for this playing group, and again, what a way to go out and end my career with a couple trophies. Yeah, there's a great breeding ground down there for the local players that have come through: Wollongong, Chipperfield, Stajovski, Wiltshire, some fantastic names, and I want to help down in Wollongong to produce a lot more with the knowledge and experience that I have. And obviously in this situation now, I'm open to all options, but like I touched on before, helping the kids down there is something that's really important to me. Pushing for another side in the A-League. They had a great history back in the old NSL, and I feel there's a real need for an A-League team in Wollongong. With the youth that we have there, the academies, the setups, the facilities, we have a strong football culture in Wollongong, and probably that's the only thing missing in the region. I've always been passionate and played with pride, and played for the jersey, for the club, for the badge, and gave my all. It didn't matter where I was in the world. Someone would probably say that, I remember him giving his all on the pitch, and for me, if people were to label me in that way, I'd be very happy and pleased, and someone who also was able to give back to the community and help in some capacity in kids' lives, is something that I'm hoping people appreciate. There's the comeback. There was nothing more to it. Simply the comeback, how pure it was.
And AZ, the assist king, he's teed up another one, and it is an own goal.
And speaking to the boys on the bench, I said that we can come back and we can win this game. And I said to Diego, as one goal and we're going to win, and the belief that was running through the bench at the time. And then we all went on and we executed that belief. That's why the celebration was there, that I felt it and we all felt it together, and then to actually achieve it is a whole different story, and the emotion at that point after our conversations was just pure enjoyment and excitement. It's funny you said that, because I'm sure a lot of Glory fans hated me before signing here. So it's I've always played with passion, and with that comes some tough challenges and some fiery incidents during my career, and of course the natural reaction from opposing fans is to hate that player, and that was me at times, and I took that on the chin, but also took that as a positive, that people looked to me, and I'm sure that people didn't like Bessart Barisha, but look what he did for our game. I thought in my eyes that he was an incredible role model, someone that I looked up to for what he achieved, and not many people liked Bessart either. And I think, in this game, it's not about people liking you, it's about achieving things and being successful. And in the end, you give your all and you play with passion, and I think you earn respect from the people over a long period of time, and that's what I've tried to do, and it's, for me, the people who didn't like the way I went about things on the pitch, I understand. Yeah, incredible, and I think as we've gone through this season, the crowds have been building, and I think we've really earned the respect of the fans this year with the way we've played, with the culture that we've created here at the Glory this season. It's a huge shock, I think, to everybody, and I don't think anybody believed that we would be in this position right now that we're in, and now people really believe that there's something special happening here, and the group that we have, it's a strong culture, strong belief that we can achieve something this year, and as you've seen the last game, a record crowd, fantastic for the club and for the people of Perth.
Short, here's Chianese looking to pounce. He plays it, Santalab! 3 in the first half for the Glory.
Yeah, you've seen in my celebration that it was pure joy, to score for the Glory, my first goal, and against Sydney FC, who I think we hadn't beat for a long time, and so another record. For the club, we've had so many achievements this year that have never happened at the club before, our away record. But that Sydney FC goal is something I'll carry forever as well, because you always want to score, and if I had have gone through the whole season without a goal, it would have been really disappointing. So, I've still got an opportunity to score some big goals over the next 6 weeks, but for me the most important part this season was contributing on and off the field, talking to our younger players and even the more senior players, and how we can make a difference to achieving something, and that's really something that I've focused on this year, is helping the younger boys as well, which is very important as a senior player.